My African people and African Americans and the world, you have to watch this. Let's go.
It cannot be that a country's geographical location or income level or army determines who has a voice and who is spoken down to. And it basically means that there should be no bullying of one nation by another nation. We are all equal.
I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit against the United States and the president of the United States earlier today, and that language is not appreciated by the president or his team.
I saw the president of South Africa running his mouth. Did I hear that correct? Sorry. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit quickly.
I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit against the United States and the president.
I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit. Madame Caroline Levitt. Let me check. I'm sorry, but we need to check this. She's 28 years old. This lady is born in 1997. 28 years old. White House press secretary. 28 years old. Addressing Cyril Ramaphosa. Uncle Cyril. Wom Cyril. 73-year-old saying, I saw the president of South Africa running his mouth. No, you don't speak like that, madam. You don't speak like that. You don't talk like that, not in Africa, not in our communities, not even in your community. You speak to people like that. Not like that. You can speak politically without, this is blatantly disrespectful. Would you ever speak like this to Putin? I saw Vladimir Putin run his mouth a little bit. Would you ever do that? You never do that. We've never seen you do that. Not even once. We've never seen you speak like that. Don't speak like that. Don't speak like that. You can disagree with him without being disrespectful. This is blatantly disrespectful. I saw the president of South Africa running his mouth. That could be your grandfather. We disagree sometimes with elders, with older people. Like I would disagree with an American and speak to him politely. Sir, I don't agree with you. Okay? Or maybe is it because he's from an African country, so you can talk to them anyhow. You can just, President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, was asked a question about the United States of America. For some of you who don't know, the G20 is taking place in South Africa. The G20 is the meeting that brings together the 20 biggest economies in the world. Okay, so South Africa is the first African country to participate in the G20. Because what? Because they're doing great and they're representing Africa. Now, for the first time, it's happening in South Africa, and Donald Trump wasn't happy about it. Donald Trump said they're not going to South Africa. They're actually boycotting the G20 because South Africa is doing genocide against white people in South Africa. You remember the accusation?
They're happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
After that, South Africa sent people to the United States of America to have a discussion to tell them that there's no genocide happening in South Africa. Are there white people, white farmers that are being unalived? Yes, they are. Are they the only group of people being unalived? Absolutely not. There are black farmers that are being unalived too. Therefore, is this a genocide? Well, according to the books and the dictionary, that's not the definition of geno. If other people are being unalive in the very same situation, in the same context, it's probably not that. Now, is this a reason why they should not attend to the pain that white farmers are living in South Africa? Absolutely not. Now, after that, Trump got very upset. He said the G20 should not have been in South Africa because South Africa doesn't deserve to have the G20.
We don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed.
So the United States of America openly say that they were not attending the G20. Are we together? Now let's watch the interview of President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, and we'll make a comment after that.
President Ramaphosa, to you, there's reports in your own state media that Donald Trump's administration now does want to take part in the G20. Can you confirm whether they're true?
Oh, Trump does want to take part now in the G20 after he said no. Interesting, King Mr. Ramaphosa. Apparently, we just heard that Donald Trump wants now to come to South Africa or send a representative 2 days before the event. What are you saying about this? Let's go.
Or not. And related, you talked about predictable, reliable partners. Do you think that the EU has demonstrated it is now more of a reliable, predictable partner than the US for South Africa and for other G20 nations? And to the two EU presidents, related to that, you've talked about how Trump's presidency and the tariff war has made the EU look for new friends that it wasn't working close with in the past. Has the way Trump has dealt with the G20, and particularly South Africa, helped make deals like today happen, which, as you said, have come together in the last 8 months only? Thank you.
Two questions. Question number one, Trump says he now wants to send a representative to South Africa. To the G20, they boycotted. Number two, do you consider Europe now as a trustful partner since they've shown you friendship in spite of the difficulties you're going through right now with the United States of America? Let's listen.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you very much.
Listen to this.
We have received notice from the United States, a notice which we are still in discussions with them over, about a change of mind about participating in one shape, form or other in the summit. So the discussions are still ongoing. This comes really at the late hour before the summit begins. And so therefore we do need to engage in those types of discussions to see how practical it is and what it finally really means.
They've changed their mind. They want to participate to this event in one shape or form. It is very late now. We need to see the practicalities of it. Are you listening with me? They came late. They've changed their mind. They want to be part of it in any shape or form. But now we need to check the practicalities of it. It's like you refuse. Okay, we gave you fufu to eat. You said no. Now you're coming back 7 hours later saying, just give me the fufu. Now we need to see the practicalities of it because there are other people that are very interested here. Fufu might not be enough. Is that a slap in the face? Let's continue.
In a way, we see this as a positive sign, very positive, because, as I've often said, boycott politics never work. It's always best to be inside the tent than being outside of the tent.
That's the sentence that pissed off the United States of America. Boycott policy never work. Boycott politics never work.
The tent is the G20. All countries are here, and the United States, being the biggest economy in the world, needs to be here. So it's pleasing to hear that there is a change of approach, and so we are still discussing how that will manifest. On the issue of relationships, we as South Africa focus on
the issue of relationships between Europe and America now.
The bilateral relationships that we have with various partners in the world, and we are not in the business of comparing one relationship against another. We deal with our relationships on a bilateral basis, and the multilateral side of relations happens either at regional bodies, continental bodies, or global bodies, which is at the multilateral level. So,
did you hear the question? Listen to the question of this lady.
It's not for me to even say this relationship is better than the other one.
And then President Ramaphosa, you said that the US request comes at the 11th hour, and you would have to look at the practicalities of accepting that.
You see, this journalist picked it up. He said, you said you have to look at the practicalities of them coming. What do you mean?
Does that mean that there's an opportunity or perhaps a possibility where it would not be practical to accept their request to be readmitted, as it were, to the G20 Summit?
Big question.
Well, the United States is a member of the G20. They are the original member of the G20. So
now he's making it clean. The United States is a member of G20. Let's not go too fast. Okay, he doesn't really want to.
They have the right to be here, and all we will be seeking to do is to look at the various practicalities, logistical and otherwise, for them to participate. They have a seat.
So we invited you to come. You said you didn't want to come. Well, now we don't have the nice hotels anymore. Now we need to see the practicality of whether to send you to the bad side of Soweto, to Alexandra, or for Slorov.
At the round table, as you will see on Saturday, there is a seat for the United States. So when President Trump said they are not coming, that seat still remained. It was empty for a while, but it will hopefully be occupied, but we want to deal with all those practicalities. You should know that because it's a gathering of G20 leaders, there is a lot of logistics that go into getting the leaders to come to the venue and to participate, and how they will speak, their speaking order and all that. So those are matters that had not been pre-planned because they pulled out. So we need to understand precisely how all that will pan out. So we're clear. The United States has a right to participate in the G20.
But we need to see in what order we're going to put them, see if they want to speak, which microphone we need to...
And much as they notify us at the 11th hour...
They notified us too late, so we need to see which cable we need to use for them.
We still need to engage with them to understand fully what their participation at the 11th hour means and how it will manifest itself.
We need to understand what their participation at the 11 hours mean. Why now? What does it mean? Is it necessary? That's what he's saying.
Peter has a question.
Peter, okay.
Mr. President, I wonder if you could clarify to the extent that you can, although you said you're trying to establish what exactly the role is that the US wishes to play. I understood that they have asked for the charge d'affaires in Pretoria to participate in a handover ceremony, but you're implying something much more deep and extensive than that. And if you could perhaps give some idea of exactly how far that participation might go. Thank you.
Well, Peter, Fabricius, you seem to know things as they happen. So there was another communication which came as we were seated here in this bilateral meeting. So we're still digesting that one. It's now seemingly moved away from the charge just receiving the role that they must now play to also something else. That's precisely what we are now examining.
Wow. So what he's saying is the initial communication was true. Then later on, another communication came saying, no, we actually just want the charge to go and receive a handover. Something happened in between. What was it? Listen.
You tend to know too much, Peter.
Thank you very much.
The New York Times is reporting that the administration is now sending a U.S. official to the G20. They're sending Mark Dillard. Can you confirm if that is true, and then also explain the shift in? I'd be happy to explain, because there is not a shift. The United States is not participating in official talks at the G20 in South Africa. I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit against the United States and the president of the United States earlier today, and that language is not appreciated by the president or his team. The ambassador or the representative of the embassy in South Africa is simply there to recognize that the United States will be the host of the G20. They are receiving that send-off at the end of the event. They are not there to participate in official talks, despite what the South African president is falsely claiming.
Falsely claiming. The South African president is running his mouth. I don't know how you feel about that. We have a culture of respect that is not just the African culture, all across the world. When you see older people, you respect them, and there's a way you speak to them. Anyway, let me know how you feel about this. It's crazy. G20 is happening in South Africa. It's very significant. God bless.